So lately I've been hearing a lot about this website called Codepen.io. So I've never used this before, but I see it's becoming very popular among the Flutter community, and I decided we should definitely check it out. So Codepen can be used to build and test your software, learn and discover other software, or share your work with the community. So we're going to demonstrate all these things and how to do that with Codepen and whether I'm going to be using it or not. So I created an account just a little bit ago with GitHub, and I don't have anything yet here, but here's what the home screen for Codepen looks like. So here you can have some code pens that you can look at, and a code pen, or pen as they call it, is basically like a small little application or a small little piece of software that you can show off inside the actual website. So there's a couple things you could check out. So you have your dashboard where you have all your pens or code files. Then you can have projects, collections, all that. Then a profile, so you can see what you've done, pinned items, and then notifications / activity and all that. So main thing here is, how do we create our first Flutter code pen? So you go to topics and you'll see you have React, Vue, and then Flutter. Hopefully Flutter will be #1 soon, but for now you click on here and you can actually find a bunch of other Flutter projects. For example, this GUI Edge by GSkinner. You can click on it and you have the whole code for this whole part of the app. So you can copy all this code into your own Flutter app and it'll work just the same way. Then you can also interact with this code here as well. So you can swipe from here and you'll see that. And it's pretty neat. You can do all this inside the web browser. So that's the part of where you could share and discover stuff in Codepen. Neumorphic clocks, all these types of things. Very cool designs by people. You can also make your own. So open the Flutter editor, build some widgets. You'll see this builds for you in due time, and there you go. You can write your code in here as well. Extend and make it as big as you want. And you can change this to anything. So save that, and that should rebuild automatically. There. So once you have this, you can give it a title. For this, we're actually going to create a template first. So Flutter template. This is basically going to be our starter project for everything that we do Flutter wise. To create that template, go to settings, template, and turn this on. Then save and close. And now if you go back to the home screen, remember how we saw the pen, project, and collections here? You can do from template, and you'll have your Flutter template. You can jump right into your code and you can keep doing whatever you were doing. Then you can rename it, save it, whatever, and have a good time with it. So what other features does Codepen support? So you can create a project here. Project means you can have directories and files and stuff like that, just like any normal Flutter project. You can develop that whole thing within the website. You can see everything that you need for it. So that's pretty useful, but only caveat is if you don't pay for it, you only get one project that you could do, and you can only have a maximum of 10 files. So that doesn't really work too well for me, at least. Then you can also have collections. Collections are pretty simple. So if you have your dashboard, for now we have this Flutter template. We can add this template to a collection. So with this, I'm thinking maybe for the very simple apps that we make, so very simple tutorials, they don't include multiple files, maybe I will make them into code pens and add them in a collection. So if you can quickly go through all the Flutter tutorials that I have, you can just click through them, see what they do, look at the code, and be able to implement it yourself really quick. So one thing with Codepen that I'm not the biggest fan about is the plans. So I understand like the reasoning for this and everything, but with the free plan, you get one project with 10 files. I I feel like that doesn't really make sense, at least for me, because you can't even have one real project. Most of my projects have way more than 10 files, and 10 files just doesn't do it for me at all. Then let's say you pay $8 a month, which is, I think, should give you a little bit more. You get 10 projects with 50 files. Now that might be enough. I'm not sure. I'd have to try it out, but it still seems like not too great. I feel like if you're paying $8 every month, then you should be getting a little bit more than that. And then it only goes up for, if you pay more, $12 a month, you get 25 projects with 150 files. And then you're still limited, even if you pay $26 a month, to the size of your projects. I'm sure there's some business reason for that, but personally, I feel like it's just easier to work on your own with GitHub. But maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments if you see any reason for this. But I think the biggest place where Codepen becomes very useful is you can go to topics and the Flutter, and you can actually search through things and look up all different topics and see what's popular, see what's going on. All types of Codepens. I mean, these are mostly CSS. I think there's a better way to search for Flutter Codepens. So while I was editing, I actually discovered a better way you could actually search for Flutter related things. So if in the URL you add /tag/Flutter, it'll show you all the pens tagged with Flutter. There might be some way to get to that, but I can't figure it out. So I think if you just put it in the URL, that works. Let me know if there's a better way to do that. But then you can search for Flutter related things. Let's say this animated float action button. And we can go to this code, and you click on it. Pretty cool, it opens up. And let's say we really enjoy all the content Damien puts out. We can give him a follow. Then we go back here and we go to all the people we're following, and we should see his code. And you can follow many people, and you can see all the new things that the people you follow are doing. So I think this is very cool because you can create a real good community in Codepen, and you can find developers that you really enjoy their work, and every time they have a new idea or a new piece of code, you can go check it out, build a really nice community that way. So for me personally, Codepen looks like a great place to find inspiration for some code you're doing. So let's say you want to do some sort of clock. You see this neuromorphic clock. You think it's cool. You can see how this person was able to do it. Maybe you'll get an idea from this Codepen about how you could do stuff like that. And look, this looks amazing. You can also build a nice community here. You can have maybe your Codepens become very popular and you have a bunch of people that like to follow you on here. Maybe you just find people that inspire you. Their Codepens, every time they come out with a new one, it inspires you to do other stuff and maybe improve the way you write Flutter apps and things like that. So I do think I'm going to try to use Codepen at least for a couple weeks and see how I like it. Maybe I'll come to love it even more. I think I'll create some of the previous projects that I've had into pens and just create a tutorials collection. So maybe create a tutorials collection where simple Flutter tutorials. Then people can go to my collection to be able to simply see all the Flutter tutorials that I have and go through them, see how it works, implement it into their own code, maybe create their own Codepens. And I think that could be very useful for more people. So I think I'll try that. I think I'm still going to focus mostly on making your own projects and GitHub, because I think having a good file structure and all that stuff is very important. But it is very good to experiment with and see good inspiration and be able to share your code with lots of other people. So alright, that's it for this video. I know it was a quick one. If you have any questions, if you have any suggestions on maybe why you think I should use Codepen more, please leave those in the description. And I'm probably not a Codepen expert. And if you enjoyed it, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. And thank you for watching.